some of those questions.
Thank you all for being here. The incumbent, Linda Duncan, was unavailable tonight, as evident from the panel here. We're going to get right into this now. I got to be honest. I got some questions from people in Fairfield Bay. And I have a feeling that half of you are here for this right now, but I had to curate them as well because some of them I couldn't make heads or tails of, if I'm being honest. But we're going to do the best we can because I am not as familiar with the affairs in Fairfield Bay as I am with some other things. So I'm going to work through this the best I can with you, okay? All three of you are contending for the office. None of you are an incumbent. We're going to start with John, please. We'll give you each 2 minutes. And if you would, I'm sorry, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Okay, we're going to give each of you 2 minutes. If you would, please detail your vision for the city of Fairfield Bay, if elected.
The vision goes a long way. It's deep. We're in a different situation. Like Adam said, it's we have a HOA, we have the city, we've got Cobblestone Hotel, we got the conference center. So our beast is a little different. Our goal, like you heard a lot from a lot of people here, is growth. Growth is what we all need, and that starts with tourism. We're in the middle of a tourist mecca. I look out in the audience and I see a lot of people, Ken and Sandy. Ken, I see a lot of people here that got here first through vacationing here, and then they became part-time owners here, and then they became full-time owners, which should be our goal, to grow the county. So the vision that I see is good controlled growth. And by controlled, things can get out of control, things can grow too fast. We see nationally right now a housing downturn in interest rates. Things went crazy. Everybody remembers 2008. Things kind of went off the rail. So you need good, solid, controlled growth with a good foundation to move forward. With that, we got to use the county and everything that the county offers to do that. We're the resort. Clinton has the traffic, and we can work together to build growth overall.
Thank you. We'll move right down the line to Jackie, please, with that same question.
Okay.
What is your vision for the city?
My vision for the city starts with unity. We are very unique in Fairfield Bay. The way I think of Fairfield Bay is you've got three main entities. You've got the city, whose main focus needs to be on the residents. You have the resort, whose main focus is on tourism. And then you have the chamber, who tends to be the stepchild. And as your current chamber director, I think that needs to change. I don't want the chamber to ever be the stepchild. They represent the businesses. And so we've got to start working together, all three of us working together for a common goal and continue to move Fairfield Bay forward. I'm also very involved at the county level with economic development and growth with uncommon communities. I've also been a justice of the peace. I think it's vital that we also work with our county. And I'd like to see more communication between the county and those three entities. And we have to do that on a regular and consistent basis with respect and honesty and transparency.
Well, I agree 100%. We do need to have some unity in our community. For a long time, Fairfield Bay worked together. But for some reason, the past few years, things have kind of fallen apart. And we need to get back to that, because when we're together as a community, we go places. We build, we do better, our economy grows, people move into the city, and that's just something that we need to do. And again, and we need to work with the county as well, because when we grow, the county grows. And we've had more houses built in the area than we have in years. And it's very important that we just have to work together. And that's my vision. And I see Fairfield Bay growing leaps and bounds in the near future.
Thank you all. I think we'll go right back down to John to start this next question. And we'll go down to a minute on this particular question for each of you. If elected, what will distinguish you from your opponents?
What can distinguish me is I've ran a lot of businesses, took businesses over with Aon Corporation. I started with a team out of 400 teams in the United States. We were like 330th. In 2 years, we were number 3. A lot of people know me from the marina. I took over a business that was losing $100,000 a year, and in 5 years, we generated well over $2 million worth of profit after expenses for the community club. So the distinguishing factor is I know how to take something that isn't working the way it should and turn it into a success. And I understand that with the city, it's a much different municipality. It's a slower pace, but I also have a good understanding of that.
Okay. Well, if you go to my website, IBelieveInTheBay.com, you'll see that I've had a lot of businesses. I run a lot of businesses. But the main thing that differentiates myself from my candidates is that I believe I have a true passion of serving my community. And again, go to my website and see all that. It's something that I firmly believe in. All the years that I have served in my community in different capacities, I believe it's led me here tonight to ask for your vote as mayor, and I would continue to do that. You should never ask, who is that person that's running for office? Who is the mayor? You should know me. Many of you in this room know me. Why? Because I have a true heart for my community, and I show it by my actions. I'm a doer.
What makes me different from my candidates is I've been here for 19 years, working with the newspaper, and I have seen the community club go through board members after board members year after year. I've seen the board do nothing. I've seen the board do things. I've seen the city. I've been with the city council meetings year after year, so I know I have a good understanding of how the city business is run. Of course, there's a lot I need to learn, and a lot that we all need to learn. But I have a gift or an ability to get people to work together, and I just want everybody to come together and make Fairfield Bay what it used to be, because it's just not there right now. I'm sorry.
Thank you all. This was a frequent question from a variety of people. Will you be able to work with the community club? And specifically, what will you do to repair the broken relationship between the community club board and the city of Fairfield Bay? We'll start with John on that.
Do I have about 20 minutes?
You've got one.
I've been around Fairfield Bay since 1986. So for 36 years, I've watched Fairfield Bay thrive in a boom time. And then I watched FCI go broke and got to witness a city being born in 1993. And after the city was born, the city realized they have to work with the club. And over all those years, we've had ups and we've had downs, and we'll have ups again and we'll have downs. I never want to surround myself with people that shake their head yes. I need people that disagree with me so we can think outside of the box. I can tell you this, that I have 18 seconds left. Cool. But with any animosity that comes from anywhere, it will not come from this side of the fence. We'll do everything we can to work with the community club. And the community club needs us as much as the city needs the community club. It's a two-way street.
Can I work with the community club? Absolutely. And in fact, I already am. I'm very excited about a current project that I'm working with our current president of the resort board, and I work almost every event that the chamber has done this year. I've had support of different members at the resort. So we're working on a very big Christmas project right now, and Fairfield Bay is going to be the place to have Christmas, so put it on your calendar. So, and I love working with them. And, you're not going to always agree with each other. I am a firm believer in agreeing to disagree by still getting things done. And I'm going to let my record, with all the different organizations that I've been involved in this community, I'm going to let my record stand.
Well, I believe I can work with the community club. I have actually for the past 19 years, so I have a really good understanding of how the club works, how it works with the city, and the relationship between the club and the city is strenuous at times, to say the least. But when people work together and actually communicate with each other and have respect for one another, you can work things out. And I know the club has the best interest for the city, and the club has the best interest for its residents and the visitors, and the city has its best interest for the residents as well as the potential property owners. So I believe we can all work together.
Thank you all. Another question along the same line. How will you work with the community club to resolve these issues regarding zoning, ATV movement through the city, and the short-term rental issues? Go ahead and start with John again. Thank you.
Well, regardless of what's been done in ordinances, I believe the community club took some good action in putting signs up. I know there was a committee that got involved and did some really, really good things for the side-by-sides and to control that and keep people on the trails. I also believe that that is a huge boon for us as a community and as a county. It brings a lot of people here that love to ride their side-by-sides, and they spend a lot of money here. Short-term rental, I'm pro short-term rental, but with restrictions. I don't believe in a blanket policy. You can't make a blanket policy that fits everything. You can't do that. You've got to protect the residents, but I am pro short-term rental. Was there anything else?
I think that covers it.
Okay. One of the things I learned after 3 years in Uncommon Communities with the Rockefeller Institute is that you have to have in your community what is the one thing that differentiates you from other resort communities, and that's our UTV trails. But I do want to see them maintained a little bit better, and because we really don't need that liability. So I think that's one of our great assets and makes us different from other resort communities. And there's room for both. Yes, I'm pro short-term rental. I had one myself. But there needs to be restrictions. If you're in an area that really doesn't want them, let's help you get those covenants and restrictions in place and then enforce them so we don't have any issues. But I also don't want to break that entrepreneurship spirit and not let those short-term rentals come, because that's how Fairfield Bay was founded, with short-term rentals with Wyndham. So we're not gonna cut that off, but there's room for both.
The UTV ATV program has worked so well for Fairfield Bay. We've got people coming from out of state coming to our community. The trails are just so much fun for people. I think they really enjoy it when the weather's even wetter and colder. They seem to really enjoy it then. And like John said, they have areas for them to park, and they're working on another area, a much bigger area. I think they have through a grant by the old library, or no, the old Lions Club. The old Lions Club. And so they're going to be building that for the UTV ATVs. As far as short-term rentals, again, I agree with them. We need to have short-term rentals because that's what made Fairfield Bay great in the first place. But if you're going to have a short-term rental and you apply for an application, let's give them an opportunity. Don't say that 3 strikes are out and let's not have a chance to put you at bat. So let's give them a chance to prove themselves, and we will have restrictions, but let's just give them a chance.
Moving along here in the same vein, how will you help grow and encourage more tourism to Fairfield Bay and support the small businesses that depend on tourism to survive?
Anybody who knows me knows that I believe we live in an outdoor wilderness paradise. And we got to witness with COVID where other businesses struggled. And even businesses, certain businesses in Fairfield Bay, some of the restaurants struggled. But overall, Fairfield Bay thrived enormously because we were an outdoor wilderness playground. And we keyed on that. A lot of people discovered Fairfield Bay during that. So the tourism and the growth brings the people that we want to move here permanently. And that's how we're going to grow and add to our population base. And that's going to, anytime you add population base, then you have new businesses that want to come in and a new tax base. And like some other people said from Clinton here, we need to look at giving the businesses as much of a break as we can and help support them, whatever business that is. We got to help support them and grow them, and you do that by increasing your population.
Okay, well, I'm in a very unique position because as your chamber director, one of the first things that I did was I convinced my chamber to move our location because we were dying where we were at, move it to the Lions Club, and start a visitor center. We'd never had a visitor center. That's a no-brainer. The chamber has all these handouts. It's my job to get rid of all those handouts. And it promotes our entire community. So I did start the first visitor center in Fairfield Bay where we actually have information about our community and surrounding areas. So that's vital. But I'm also in a great position because I am so pro-business. And I've been able to connect new businesses, new entrepreneurs coming into Fairfield Bay. I've connected the building owners with the new businesses. We've had quite a few new businesses come in. So Dale James, don't forget Fairfield Bay. We got a lot of new businesses that are coming into Fairfield Bay, and we are growing as we speak. And I've been fortunate enough to be a part of that, and I'll continue that as your mayor.
The growth of Fairfield Bay is very important, and the mall in Fairfield Bay is very important to the Bay. And as Jackie said, we have a lot of new businesses coming in, and I think if we do offer tax incentives or offer these businesses something so that they can come here, that'll bring tourists in, and the Bay will just grow like crazy. We have so much to offer people. The tourists, like John said earlier, when COVID hit, we thrived. We did better than a lot of other communities in the area. And again, the county thrived as well. So we just have so much to offer, and I think we can do very well.
Thank you all. This last question that we had was actually directed about the short-term rental issue, which I feel like we've pretty thoroughly covered. So I'm going to turn you all loose. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming out tonight.